It's good to be back on this little program.
I don't know.
So there are so many stories we've heard, people we know that got married to people, and as at the time they were getting married to these people, they noticed some things, some traits, some behavioral patterns, or something that they didn't necessarily like, and after marriage, they thought maybe, okay, this person would change with time, but those things didn't go anywhere. So today we'll be talking about, whether people actually, change their behavior or who they are because of marriage, or does marriage change people? Does marriage change people? But from experience and, stories we've heard, we can say for sure that what you see is what you get. Most
Yeah.
times what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So I am May.
And I'm Nee.
So you're welcome to our
You're welcome.
channel once again. So what do you think about this topic? I think it's very interesting.
No, I think it's probably one topic that people that are single or yet to get married
Need to pay attention.
need to pay a lot of attention to, and sometimes people take for granted until they are in, or and sometimes love is blind.
Yes.
People do not ask the right questions
They
or
say love is
assume,
blind. Marriage will open your eyes.
yeah, and then they assume a lot of things. And some people will think, oh, the guy is gonna change,
Yeah,
or
the
the
girl will
girl's
change.
gonna change, and just believe that a miracle would happen, and it's not always the case. It's not always.
Yeah, so if it's something you really can't live with, then you need to reconsider your choice, your decision. If it's foundational, fundamental to your person, your values, and what you stand for, you need to think, think about it again. For us, I think, we're not saying everything is going to be perfect about anybody. No one is perfect. I'm not perfect. He's not
I'm not.
perfect.
Yeah.
But when we met, we aligned on a lot of fronts, values, faith and all.
Yeah.
But there were issues, one or two issues that there was a particular issue that I had concerning him, how we saw a particular, thing or handle a particular issue. But I had to just wait that, okay, is this fundamental to who he is? Is it going to affect, my decision? I had to think very well, and looking at it, I didn't think it was something fundamental to who he is, his values, his person, his faith, and it didn't affect our relationship from that angle. So I knew I could go ahead with, getting married to him. So we're not saying you find someone who is perfect,
Yeah.
in every way, but we need to consider the fact that you're going to live with this person forever. That's the idea, and every decision you make it's important to make it wisely, to consider all the factors. Like you said, love is blind, but in marriage you see everything even clearer. It will magnify the ones that you were not seeing, signs that you were seeing before that time. For some people, it has to do with womanizing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he loves me. Once I hook him up in marriage, he'll stop. Yeah.
If you know a guy that likes womanizing, anyway, why should a guy even like womanizing?
The truth is, I always know that different people have different stories. And for some, it's, now it's the fallen nature of man. And for some, even their upbringing didn't help matters at all.
Oh, yeah,
so
true.
many times we need to just pray and intercede. Thank God for salvation. But yeah, of course,
All you
because
spiritual people.
you'll be acting like you're not spiritual.
I'm not
Because really,
spiritual. I'm a Christian.
because really, now we are saved by grace. It's not of works, lest any man should boast. So it's ultimately the work of the Spirit.
I mean, I like the campaign a lot for women, as in the sense that because they are always in the receiving end of most of these things. I mean, if a guy is constantly, maybe you're still friends or you're dating and he's constantly asking you for money because he's doing one business or the other.
At least see the thing, yield some results.
I gotta help you. But there are a lot of signs. Or
Yeah.
the guy eats you once while you're dating, and it was
Or
because he was
eat
angry.
some other
Or
people
eat someone else.
all the
Even
time.
like I used to tell my wife something. I said, for example, if maybe someone did something to you and maybe it wasn't maybe something flimsy or not, and you see the guy holding punch with another guy and is giving them 1, 2. I hope you're not the kind of person that will say, give it to him, give it to him. It might be you that will be the next person when the
Punching
guy is
bag.
angry. I mean,
It's gonna come around.
you want to be sensitive to that. And then for guys also, and even for ladies, if the person is nice to only you, it's also a concern. But there are a whole lot of other things. You might see that this person is maybe not organized like that. You need to wait with yourself.
Exactly.
I mean, or a lady telling a guy, I don't like cooking.
And you
And
like somebody who cooks.
exactly.
You start
And you're like,
comparing in marriage.
should we
Should
change? Yeah, I
change.
mean,
If the change does not happen before marriage, in fact, it should happen within a long period. You should monitor that it's not because of the marriage in prospect that the person changes. You know, people change for marriage and then they revert.
yeah. They can. People change
Yeah, to
to
get
win
what they
you
want.
for the
Yeah.
season. But it's what is most important is to be sure that this person, um, you like who the person is without you trying to change anything. If you look at the person, I mean, there was something I just used to do. I don't know. Nobody taught me that, but since I was very young, I just see a lady and then I just add 30 years to her years, or I mean, I'm speaking because I'm a guy. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
I do. I don't know what, and somehow from there, I just know, now, because you want to be sure that without me trying to change this person, will I still like this person? Can I be friend with this person? Would we treasure each other as we go without me trying to change anything? Because truly, what you see is what you get. Uh, and there are a lot of other things that can come along the journey of life and all the things that might try to make people behave in certain ways. But what you should go for really oftentimes is the values. What does this person hold as their core value? How do they behave when it comes to
How do they see life?
how do they see life? I think there are a lot of things we shouldn't even try to
Compromising.
compromise on when it comes to the issue of either friendship or who you are to marry, because a lot of time people do not change, and you cannot even pray people to change.
I think it even increases in marriage because from
Yeah,
glory to glory, everything gets better with time. A person who is diligent and maybe hardworking, industrious, most likely in marriage will, one will chase thousands,
yeah,
the thing will just increase and multiply. You find that they're more on, on top of their game.
yeah.
Well, circumstances happen to people. And some people can't really easily find a comeback. That's a different thing altogether. We may talk about that someday. There are people who were really doing well in business and it was all they knew. And to get back into something else after maybe a fallback
Yeah.
becomes really difficult. Those are
Yeah.
trying times. We'll balance all
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
with,
yeah.
support and help. That's a different topic altogether. I'll probably deal with another day. So it's just very important that you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I like to say in this is um, make no assumptions. I once heard that assumption is the lowest level of knowledge.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I know someone said that, but beyond that, I'm not trying to do quotable quotes, but do not assume anything in your relationship, and that is why the Christian value is so sweet in the sense that we the Bible says marriage is honorable, um, the bed undefiled, right? And it's powerful because a lot of times people can no longer think when they already get physical in relationship before marriage,
Yeah.
and those things it just block the mind, and I mean it becomes the norm outside of marriage, and before people get married. So most people don't even get married when they're involved like that. And even when they get married, what else are they looking for? But what I'm trying to say there is that you want to be sure that you ask the right questions before marriage and talk about the key things, your own values. And this is, in fact, marriage is far. It's before marriage. Know your values first. Know the things
Before you
that are
even
no for
think
you.
relationship or marriage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Know the things you can live by. In fact, have those things before you meet the guy or before a guy
Discover
comes to you.
yourself.
Exactly. So that when a guy
Self-awareness, yeah.
is coming, you already know the kind of the values that this person must meet.
In fact, I think that principle helped me a lot in life because sometimes people will be like, what's wrong with Maiwa? This person is asking you out and you are doing. I'm like, it's not by, sometimes you think it's because person is a Christian, the person is spiritual, the person is, those are, important factors, but you need to dig deeper. You need to dig deeper to what is said, which is values. How you see, even in Christianity, we have different cliques, different tribes. We see things differently, and you need to be sure that the way the person sees things is like yours, so that you can work together. Because the Bible says, "Can't two work together except they agree," so that there won't be much conflict in the relationship.
Absolutely. I mean, there's some people, their conflict is not even character or money or likes other genders and all this stuff. Some people, their conflict is within the spiritual beliefs, and they're both Christians.
Yeah.
But they are of
Different convictions. I
different
heard of
convictions.
a couple, I think they're quite popular. One was from a Catholic background and the other was more Pentecostal. So that one will wake up to pray at night and the Catholic will be thinking, be quiet and, let's pray this prayer some other time. The Pentecostal one will be thinking, this one is like, I married a witch, jokingly, but they eventually got to understand each other better. But you need to know, your level of... you need to understand, where you both are and see if there are enough reasons for you to be together than for you to be apart.
I think just to wrap up with what you started with, I think there are fundamentals, and there are things that are very, like you said, there were some things you felt you didn't agree or like in me, but it wasn't.
It's not like agree. Like is like. I like, but agree, like maybe there's an issue and we see it differently. But interestingly, over time, we've come to a point of understanding on the issue. But basically on the fundamentals, like you said, I was
Obviously
fine.
it wasn't fundamental, because if it
Exactly.
was fundamental, then it should have exactly.
I would have just,
So
in fact, I was considering, is this fundamental at the point? I was like, but I knew inside me that my shakara was too plenty for me to be thinking it's even fundamental in the first place. I didn't. You need to tell them I didn't.
Okay, she didn't show me pepper. But I don't know what she is even talking about now, so I'll ask her after you say this.
I'm sure you know. So more or less what we're saying is what you see before marriage is what you get after marriage.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that what you see is what you want to be seeing forever. What you can afford to live with forever, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want it to overflog it, but really, just foundation, making sure the values is right, know the fundamentals, know the things that are variable. Because what you see is what you get, but that word too is subjective in a way. You can say you are looking at lekwa. After 3 children, the person might change. That one is not. That one is not in the class of what we're talking about. But really, you must have those fundamentals, those things where you know that you can live by, things that you cannot live by. If a lady, for example, says, "I don't like cooking," she might eventually change, but that's a lot of assumption if you don't talk about it. So ultimately, I think that would be my parting word. Don't give room for assumption. Try and talk about your life with the person you want to be with. And ultimately, there are some you don't need to have. You have a checklist. Does the person even qualify before you with the fundamentals while you are being friends? Before you now start having some questions, because you still discover more things in the process of meeting the person and courtship and towards marriage. So that place also you will get to know, okay, are there fundamental things here, or there are things that are not fundamental?
Yeah, I think I want to wrap up with this. I have a friend, and she never liked cooking. And for me, I don't think anybody should really, they can, everybody should work on one area of their lives or another, but I don't think anybody should suddenly say, okay, I don't like cooking, so because of this, I need to just be fine with who you are. That's my own perspective on things, because eventually the person she got married to does not like it. So it was just perfect. He wasn't particular about food. Now, she's not lazy. He's not lazy. They make their own work. She does a part. She enjoys the part of, okay, my family wants to eat, so I cook rice, pour some sweet corn and make it nice and all, but it's not something she goes out of her way to do. So she takes responsibility for the things she feels she should do. And the guy also supports, And I know another couple, I think it's even somebody that he likes cooking.
Yeah.
The girl, he doesn't like laundering, and the girl doesn't mind, and she doesn't even like cooking. And they got married, and I'm like, you guys are fine.
Yeah.
So you need to just know.
And those are even, I mean, some of the things we've touched right now are even the lightweight stuff there. But I mean,
Just as examples,
lightweight things become heavy in marriage afterwards,
yeah.
because it can become the source of resentment, the source of
Comparison.
different stuff. So, but there are also deeper things beyond what we can touch. We cannot even touch on most of it. But you should know who you are, where you're going, the kind of future you have for yourself, the values you hold, and make sure that you're not trying to compromise on that, because people don't change that much. Even you, how much have you changed on yourself? Someone else.
Yeah, so more or less that was where I was going with those stories, that eventually you don't compromise because you find the right match.
Yeah.
God always makes sure that everything, He created us for the way we are for a purpose. As long as it's not something that there's no excuse for being lazy, for some other factors, as long as it's not something that has to do with your character, your behavior, your sense of responsibility and things like that, then just take who you are as who you are, and, be sure that God will definitely bring somebody who aligns with your person your way.
Yeah.
So that's it for today.
Yeah.
And until next time, it's bye for now.
Bye.